Court calls People v. Haddix, 261467.
Mr. Haddix has made his way up to the podium where he met with his attorney, Ms. Amy Lou Husted, Deputy Director of the Public Defender's Office. Mr. Kerner is present, our elected prosecutor, along with Agent Rolfe from the Michigan Department of Corrections. Mr. Haddix was before the court last on March 5th of the year 2026, and on that date, he pled guilty to count 1, malicious destruction of fire or police property, and resisting and obstructing a police officer. As a result of those plea-based convictions, the Michigan Department of Corrections did prepare a pre-sentence investigation report. They scored in a sentencing information report, distributed those documents to the parties and to the court. Also, I've received numerous letters of support on behalf of Mr. Haddix. I assume probation received those as well, Agent Rolfe? Agent Rolfe?
I'm sorry.
Did you receive the letters of support?
There's nothing in the file, Your Honor.
I'll need you to collect those then from Mr. Kerner and make sure that they're incorporated into the pre-sentence investigation report. Mr. Haddix, would you raise your right hand with me? Do you promise that you will tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Mr. Haddix, did you get a chance to review the pre-sentence investigation report?
I have.
And did your attorney, Ms. Husted, did she make herself available to you to answer any questions you might have or address any concerns you may have about the contents of that report?
She did. I found a couple more this morning when I was looking over it.
All right. We'll go through any changes you have, but the narrative, right, on what's happened on that date, was that set forth, was it true and accurate?
Yes.
The way that happened?
Yes.
All right. That's really what I was looking for. Thank you. Ms. Husted, did you get a chance to review the PSIR?
I have, Your Honor.
And if you have some changes to the report, I'll be happy to.
To the body of the report, Your Honor, first thing that I would point out is in the description of offense, they thought that he had a pill, believed to a pill of Xanax. It was actually submitted and tested, and it was not Xanax. It was I can't say it, bromelazolam.
Not Xanax?
It was not Xanax. It's not a controlled substance. I do have the report here if Your Honor would like to verify that.
I take your word for it. Mr. Kerner, is that true?
I'll take your word for it.
I do too. We'll make that change then. Ms. Husted?
Thank you, Your Honor. And then the other instance that I was concerned with, Your Honor, it said the narrative portion says the sentencing scheduled for 4/23 of 26, which I was quite confused about because this is a case from 2018.
Yeah, I think it's collections.
I was just, that's exactly what I was just going to say. It's actually a show cost because he still owes some money on his claims.
I saw the same thing. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
Because he's had a lot of stuff since then. You thought district court would catch up with him. Yeah.
Right. And I did print off the register of actions for that charge if you would like to review that.
I've already researched that and I agree. Agent Rolfe, do you understand what we're talking about?
For collections.
Yes. Good catch. Ms. Husted.
There were no other changes to the body of the report, Your Honor.
He said he had some.
I'm thinking that he's talking about the guidelines or something.
Yeah, the guidelines says the prior record variable score is 55. And in the case law, it says that it's 75 plus to be 10 to 23. And it says it's 55, so it'd be 5 to 23. It'd be a class E, not F.
I'm gonna defer to your attorney for guideline challenges.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. So let's start with that. Do you have guideline challenges, Ms. Husted?
Your Honor, I do not have any that I would place on the record. I believe Mr. Kerner has some.
Thank you. Mr. Kerner.
Yes, PRV 7 should be 10 points.
Do you agree, Ms. Husted?
Your Honor, I would concur.
That would be correct. Agent Rolfe.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Kerner.
We believe that OV9 should be scored at 10 points based on the number of victims that were potentially in danger.
Ms. Husted.
Your Honor, I believe that only one victim was assaulted, and so I would argue that it should be 0.
Your response, Mr. Kerner?
There was glass broken. It could have injured both officers. So I believe.
Yeah, we don't need 2 police officers hurt. We just need them placed in danger. It's unfortunate that one was hurt. We're lucky that 2 weren't, but at least 2 were placed in danger. As described in the narrative portion of the pre-sentence investigation report that Mr. Haddix says was truthful and accurate. So that challenge would be sustained, Agent Rolfe. Please give us 10 points on OV9. Mr. Kerner. Agent Rolfe, add them up.
For PRVs, we have a total of 65. Level E. For offense variables, we have a total of 36. Level 3. The guidelines are now 12 to 24 months.
Do you agree with that subject to your objection, Ms. Husted? Do you agree with the math?
Yes, I agree with the math.
Mr. Kerner.
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well, Ms. Houston, allocution.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, Mr. Haddix, I understand we have put in a request for a treatment court and a treatment type sentence. I understand your concern that he has many assaultive crimes in his past. However, in talking not only with him, but also with his mother and his aunt, who are in the court today and who submitted letters of support, he is not assaultive if he is not intoxicated or high. And so I believe that if we can get him treatment, help him get sobriety and maintain sobriety, it will eliminate any aggressive behavior on his part. In addition, he suffers from severe depression and he needs mental health treatment. Your Honor, we are asking you to follow the recommendations of MDOC, but also to give him some type of treatment court to ensure that he is able to achieve sobriety and maintain his sobriety. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Houston. Mr. Kerner.
Thank you, Your Honor. It does not look that he's made a very good attempt at getting his substance abuse under control. I'd ask that the court fashion a sentence that focuses on punishment and deterrence, Your Honor, and send this man to the Department of Corrections. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Haddix, this is your opportunity to address the court, sir. What would you like to say?
I would like to first apologize for my actions that day. I don't think that any of it should be condoned in any manner. I don't think it's justifiable. On the paperwork, it says one victim and 2 were in danger, but there's multiple victims in my actions. I mean, my mother, my aunt, my girl, my kids, everybody has to suffer from them. I don't believe in any way that any of it was right, and I could do 100% better in life than to be there. It's not a positive outlook for my children or my family to see me in this manner. So I'd like to apologize.
Have you said everything you wanted to say?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You know, I did review your request for treatment, and I do hear your attorney when she says if you're not using, you're not violent. But look, you've had plenty of opportunities for treatment. You've walked away from 2 inpatient facilities. You walked away from outpatient. You were given every opportunity for treatment to get you to stop using and then stop hurting people. And you went to prison just over 10 years ago for hurting people. When you got out of prison, you continued to hurt people. And in this case, people were just trying to help you. The people at Subway, they're just trying to help you. And then the police were called and you hurt the police. You punched Officer Knoll in the stomach and then smashed out the window of her police cruiser. That's just not any kind of behavior that can condone or will be
sentencing of
accepted
Mr. Haydix
in our
following his
community.
guilty
So
plea
I don't
to
know that
malicious
you're really
destruction
interested
of
in
fire
getting any
or
treatment
police
because you were
property
given an opportunity
and
to do
resisting
so
and
you
obstructing a
refused it.
police
I just don't know
officer.
how to help
The
you,
judge
Mr.
reviewed
Haddix,
the
because it
procedural
doesn't appear
history,
that you want to
explaining
help
that after the guilty
yourself.
plea, the Michigan
There'll
Department
be
of
some
Corrections
financial
prepared a
obligations,
pre-sentence
Mr. Haddix, that
investigation
includes
report
restitution
and
in the amount
sentencing
of
information report.
$375,
The court also
crime
acknowledged
victims
receiving
assessment in the amount of
numerous letters of support from the
$130, court
defendant's
costs in the amount of
family and supporters,
$961,
and instructed that they
the
be
state costs
incorporated
in the amount
into
of
the official
$136.
report.
And
Mr.
the
Haddix
court
was
does
sworn
believe
in
that
and
to protect the
confirmed that
community
he had
against you,
reviewed
Mr.
the
Haddix,
pre-sentence
and your
report
continuing
with his
bouts of
attorney.
violence that
He stated that the
sentence in
narrative
Michigan Department of
describing the
Corrections,
events of the offense
is
was truthful
warranted
and accurate,
and
although he
appropriate
had
as the
noticed a
court
few
sentence will
issues that
focus on
required
deterrence
correction.
and punishment
Defense
because
counsel
efforts
then
at
addressed those
rehabilitation in the
corrections,
past just
explaining that a
haven't worked.
substance
So, Mr.
initially
Haddix, your
believed
sentence
to
will
be
be a
Xanax
sentence
had
in the
later
Michigan
been
Department of Corrections
laboratory
where you'll spend
tested
a
and
minimum of
identified as
16 months,
bromozolam rather
not to
than
exceed
Xanax,
48 months
meaning
against
it was
that
not the
sentence. You'll
controlled
receive
substance
credit on both
originally
counts
described
for
in the report.
119
The
days.
prosecution
Also,
accepted
Agent
the
Rolfe
correction,
and Mr.
and the court
Haddix
ordered the
package
report to be
the Michigan
amended.
Department of Corrections,
Another
please
issue
include a request
involved
that
an
he
apparent
undergo
sentencing
a
reference
substance use
connected to an
evaluation,
older
a mental health
2018 collections
mental
matter,
health
which both attorneys
evaluation,
and
he
the judge
follows the
agreed had
recommendations.
mistakenly
You do have some
appeared in the
appellate rights,
current
Mr.
report.
Haddix. Along
After
comes those
discussing
rights
these
with Mr.
corrections,
Schmidt. Please
attention
initial
shifted
them,
to the
acknowledging
sentencing
that you
guidelines.
received the same. If
Mr.
you'd like court
Haddix
appointed counsel
questioned
to
the
assist you in
scoring
the
of
appeal,
his
you've got
prior
42
record
days from today's date
variables,
to make that request.
believing
Ms.
there was a
Houston.
discrepancy.
Judges,
His
the
attorney
60
deferred
months in
guideline
MDOC
challenges to
or
the court
MDOC,
and
is that for the
prosecutor,
malicious
while the
destruction of
prosecutor
police property?
requested adjustments
And
to
are
the
you doing a
scoring.
different sentence
Both
for
sides
the-
agreed that the prior record
that
variable
would be the
7
same
score
sentence for
should
both,
be
and they were run
increased.
concurrent.
The prosecutor also
Yes, 'cause I
argued
can't
that the
exceed
offense
16
variable
months on
should
the
include
R&O.
additional points
Thank you, Your Honor.
because 2 police
Thank you.
officers had been placed in danger when the patrol vehicle window was shattered, even though only 1 officer was physically injured. Defense counsel argued that only 1 victim had actually been assaulted and
Your Honor, I
therefore
would
the
concur.
additional
That would
points
be
should
correct,
not apply.
Agent
The
Rolfe.
judge ruled in favor of the
Mr. Kerner?
prosecution, explaining that the
believe
law
that
required
OB9
only
should
that
be scored at
multiple
10
people be
points,
placed in danger
based on the
rather
number
than
of
physically injured.
victims that were
After
potentially
recalculating
in
the
danger.
totals, the
Houston?
guideline
Your
range
Honor, I
became
believe that
12
only
to
one
24
victim was
months.
assaulted, and
Defense
so I would
counsel then
argue that it
requested
should
that
be
the court
zero.
consider a treatment-based
Your
sentence
response, Mr.
rather
Kerner?
than imprisonment.
There was glass
She
broken that
argued
could
that
have
Mr. Haddix's
injured
history
both officers.
demonstrated that his
Yeah,
violent
you
behavior
don't
occurred
need-
only when
we
he
don't
was
need,
intoxicated or
two
under
police
the
officers
influence of
hurt.
drugs.
We just need him placed
According to
in danger. It's
conversations with his
unfortunate
mother,
that one
aunt,
was
and
hurt.
other family
We're lucky
members,
that two
he was
weren't,
not
but at
naturally
least two were
violent while
placed in
sober.
danger.
She emphasized that he struggled with severe depression and substance
in the narrative
abuse,
portion of the
believing that proper
pre-sentence
mental
investigation
health
report
treatment
that,
and addiction
Mr. Haddix says
rehabilitation
was
would
truthful
greatly
and
reduce
accurate.
the likelihood
So
of future
that challenge would be
violence.
sustained, Agent Rolfe. Please
She
give us 10
urged the
points
court
on
to follow the
OV9,
recommendations
Mr.
of the
Kerner.
Michigan
Agent
Department of
Rolfe, add 'em up.
Corrections, while also
For
allowing him to
PRVs,
participate
we
in
have
a
a total
treatment
of
court program
65.
designed to help him
Level
achieve
E,
and maintain sobriety. The
Offense
prosecutor
variables, we have a
disagreed,
total of 36,
arguing that the
level
defendant
3.
had repeatedly
The
failed
guidelines
to
are
take
now
advantage
12
of
to 24
opportunities for
months.
substance
Do you
abuse
agree with
treatment
that
in the
subject to your
past.
objection, Ms. Houston?
He
Do you agree with the
maintained
math?
that rehabilitation
agree with the
efforts
math.
had
Mr. Kerner.
already been
Your
attempted
Honor.
without
Very well,
success,
Ms. Houston.
and asked the court to impose a
Allocation.
sentence.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Focused on
Your Honor, Mr.
punishment and
Haddix,
deterrence by
I
committing Mr.
understand
Haddix
we
to the
have
Michigan
put in a
Department of
request for a
Corrections.
treatment
When given
court
the opportunity to
and a
speak, Mr.
treatment
Haddix
type
accepted
sentence. I
responsibility
understand your
for his
concern
conduct and
that
apologized
he has
sincerely.
many
He
assaultive
admitted that nothing about
crimes in his
actions
past.
on the day
However,
of
in
the
talking
offense
not
could
only
be
with him, but
justified.
also with his mother
Although
and
the
his
paperwork
aunt,
listed
who are
one
in the
official
court today and
victim
who
and noted
submitted
that
letters
two
of
officers
support,
had been endangered,
he is
explained
not
that the
assaultive
consequences
if
of
he
his
is not
actions extended
intoxicated
far
or
beyond those
high.
individuals.
And
He said
so
his
I
mother,
believe
aunt,
that if we can get
girlfriend,
him
children, and
treatment,
other loved
help him
ones
get
had all
sobriety
suffered
and
because of
maintain
his behavior.
sobriety, it
He
will
acknowledged that
eliminate
he could live a much
any
better
aggressive
life than the
behavior
one
on
he
his
had been
part.
living, and recognized
In
that
addition,
repeatedly
he
appearing in court
suffers
and
from severe
engaging in
depression
criminal
and
conduct
he needs mental
set a
health
terrible
treatment.
example for
Your
his
Honor, we are
children and
asking you to
family.
follow the
He
recommendations of
expressed genuine
MDOC,
regret
but
and again
also
apologized for
to
the
give
pain he had
him some
caused
type of
everyone
treatment
affected
court
by
to
his
ensure
actions.
that he
After listening carefully,
is able
the
to
judge
achieve
explained why the
sobriety
court
and
could not
maintain his
grant the
sobriety.
requested treatment
Thank you.
sentence.
Thank you, Ms. Houston.
While
Mr.
acknowledging the
Kerner.
defense argument that
Thank you, Your
substance
Honor.
abuse contributed
Does not look
significantly
that,
to the
that
defendant's
he's made a very
violent behavior,
good attempt at getting
the
his
judge
substance abuse
emphasized
under
that
control.
Mr. Haddix
I'd
had
ask that the
already
court fashion a
received
sentence that
numerous
focuses on
opportunities
punishment
for
and deterrence, Your Honor,
rehabilitation.
and send this
He had
man to the
walked away
Department of
from
Corrections.
two
Thank you.
Thank you.
inpatient treatment
Mr.
facilities,
Haddix, this is your opportunity to
failed to
address the court,
complete
sir. What would you like
outpatient
to say?
treatment, and
I would
ignored
like to first
repeated
apologize
chances
for
to
my
address
actions
his
that day.
addiction
I don't
before. The judge
think
also
that
noted
any
that
of it
more than
should
10 years earlier,
be
Mr. Haddix
condoned
had
in any
been
manner.
sent
I
to
don't think
prison
it's
for assaultive
justifiable.
conduct. Yet
On the
even after
paperwork, it
being
says one
released,
victim
he
and
continued
2 were in
engaging
danger, but there's
violent
multiple
behavior.
victims in
The
my
court reviewed
actions.
the
I mean, my
facts of the
mother,
current
my
offense,
aunt, my girl, my
observing
kids.
that employees
Everybody has
at
to
a
suffer
Subway
from that.
restaurant had
I don't
merely
believe
been
in
attempting
any
to
way
help
that
him before
any of it
police
was right,
officers
and I
became
could do
involved.
100% better in
Instead of
life
accepting
than
assistance, he
to be there.
punched
It's not
Officer
a
Null in the
positive
stomach
outlook for
and
my
smashed
children
the
or my
window of her
family to see
patrol
me in this
vehicle.
manner. So
The judge
I'd
stressed
like to
that such
apologize.
violence toward people attempting to help him,
Have you said everything
including
you
law
wanted to say?
enforcement officers
sir.
performing their
Thank you.
duties, could
You know,
not be tolerated within the
review
community.
your request for treatment.
Although the court
and
recognized the defendant's
I do hear your
apology,
attorney when she
the
says if
judge
you're not using,
concluded
you're
that
not
the pattern
violent.
of
But look,
repeated
you've had
violence,
plenty of opportunities
combined with
for treatment.
repeated
You've walked
failures
away
to
from
complete
2
treatment,
inpatient facilities.
demonstrated
You
that
walked away from
rehabilitation
outpatient. You
efforts
were
had not
given
succeeded
every
because the
opportunity,
defendant had not fully
for
committed
treatment
himself to changing.
get you to stop
The judge
using and
stated
then
that the
stop
court
hurting
did not
people.
know how else
He
to
went
help
to
someone
prison
who
just over
consistently
10 years
rejected
ago for
opportunities
hurting
to help
people. When he
himself.
got out of prison,
The
you
court then
continued
imposed
to
the
hurt
financial
people.
penalties
And in this
associated
case,
with the
people were
convictions,
just trying to help
including
you.
restitution of
The people at
$375,
at
a
Subway,
crime
they're
victim
just trying to
assessment of
help you. And then the police were
$130,
called.
court
They didn't hurt
costs
the police.
totaling
You punched Officer Noel in the
$961, and a
stomach.
state cost of
And then smashed out the window of her
$136.
police cruiser.
Turning to the custodial
That's just
sentence,
not any kind
the
of
judge
behavior that can
ruled that
condoned or will be
imprisonment was
accepted
necessary
in
to
our
protect the
community.
community from
So
the
I don't know know
defendant's
that you're really
continuing
interested in
violent
getting any
conduct.
treatment because
The
you were
court
given an opportunity
explained
to
that
do so
because
and you
previous
refused it.
rehabilitation
I just don't
efforts
know how to
had
help
failed,
you, Mr.
the
Haddix, because
primary
it doesn't
goals of
appear that you
sentencing
want
would
to
now
help
be punishment and
yourself.
deterrence. Mr.
There'll be
Hadex
some
was
financial
sentenced to serve a
obligations,
minimum of
Mr. Haddix,
16
that
months and a
includes
maximum of
restitution in the
48
amount of
months in the Michigan Department of
$375,
Corrections.
a crime
He
victim's
received
assessment
credit
in
for
the amount of
119 days already
$130,
served.
court costs in the
Although
amount of
denying the requested treatment
$961,
sentence,
and
the
a
judge
state
still
cost in the
directed that
amount
the
of
Department of
$136.
Corrections conduct
And
both
the
a
court
substance
does
abuse
believe that to
evaluation
protect
and a
the
mental
community against
health
you, Mr. Haddix,
evaluation
and,
upon his
your
admission
continuing
and
bouts of
ensure that
violence
he followed
the
all
sentence of the Michigan
resulting
Department of
treatment
Corrections,
recommendations while
is
incarcerated.
warranted. and
Finally, the judge
appropriate as
advised
the court
Mr.
sentence
Haddox
will
of his
focus on
appellate
deterrence
rights,
and
explaining that
punishment
he had
because
42
efforts at
days to
rehabilitation in
request
the past
court-appointed
just
counsel if he
haven't
wished to pursue
worked.
an appeal.
So, Mr. Haddox, your
Defense
sentence will
counsel
be
sought
a sentence to the Michigan
clarification
Department of
regarding the
Corrections where you'll
sentence
spend
for
a
each
minimum
conviction,
of 16
and the judge
months,
confirmed
not
that
to
both
exceed
convictions
48
would
months
receive the
against
same
that
sentence,
you'll receive
with the
credit on
terms
both
running
counts for
concurrently.
119
With those final
days.
procedural matters
Also, Agent Rolfe
resolved,
and
the
Mr.
sentencing
Haddock's
hearing
package to the
concluded.
Michigan Department of